Hello and welcome to KKEV News number 6. Today I'm going to be covering a bit about Australia, lithium and some other bits and bobs that have been out there a while. A few of the stories, but some are red hot. So welcome to this. If you've not been here before, there is 5 more to catch up on. You know, where you been? 5 more EV news, plus all what we put on the channel, all the content that we do. So if you've not been here before, where have you been? Subscribe, please do. And then you'll get more EV news, and ring that bell icon at the top. Ding! And then whenever I post something, you're going to get it. I need this because my first one is about a very dry country in part, and that's Australia. Now, you Oz people, I have not had a great deal to do with Australia apart from my wife having some relative living out there for many years. Never been, spent most of my time in the US, been in Europe, and obviously here in the UK where I was born and bred. Now, I bring Australia into the debate. I like the debate. If you've already been here before to my channel, you'll know that I put myself sometimes in quite a bit of a predicament on Facebook. So if you ever come across me on Facebook, I always will say how I see it, although I do listen. I'm a big listener. The problem is with Australians, they don't listen. So let me delve into this a bit more and a bit deeper, and you'll get where I'm coming from. What it is, it's called Advance Australia. Now, they call it Advance Australia because they seem to think that advancing is doing 0 about EVs, 0 about climate change, 0 about not using coal anymore and oil and fossil fuel. And I don't know who pays them, I don't know where their money comes from for this. I don't know if it's just a guy in a dark shed down the bottom of his garden, you know, getting hot in the Oz sun, and he's feeling a bit... On this particular occasion, they actually put up a film, or a few bits out of a film, and it was slated, absolutely slated by everybody apart from the oil industry. That says it all. Basically, it's just absolute codswallop. Now, some of the remarks, well, there were 1 or 2 that didn't agree, but the majority of people on this whole post on Facebook kind of like wanted to just grab onto the debate of we need coal. Coal is the saviour of Australia. People, my Oz friends, if you are what the mainstream of Australia is like, I pity the future of Australia. But at the end of the day, if you want any company to come to Australia and start building a quality EV or investing in Australia, you better wake up, people. Get your government to start listening. That's all you got to do. Thought I'd mention it because it brings me to the next point about Oz, and that is Porsche, for some strange reason, are going to sell, or started to sell, their top range electric sports car, Taycan. Now, they're going to be selling it in a cross-country form. In other words, it's got slightly higher suspension by about 10 mil, and it's got a different suspension setup and everything else. It's called I'm sure it's called the Cross Turismo, and that thing, which I'll put some pictures up here. In fact, what I'll do, I'll give you the full screen. There you go. That's it. Going through water, and that's going through water to prove a point. You can go slightly off-road, light 4x4, light off-road. But it's just to say that Porsche is believing Australia will actually buy it. So yes, point being, Australia, or the majority of Australians that I spoke to, don't want change. They want to stay with fossil fuels. They have no intention of changing. It's there when it has been since the country was made, mate. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. There's no advancement being made. None at all. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring the Porsche into it and say that they're releasing that in a country that don't appreciate EVs. So well done, Porsche. I don't know what you're going to do and how many you're going to think you're going to sell, but maybe the first of many. We'll move on. Okay, shifting on in this KKEV news on number 6 is Ford. Let's mention Ford again. They are a company that I have been a fan of for many years in certain marques, in certain cars. I had plenty of Mustangs, so I do like the Mach-E. Yes, it is a Mustang. No arguing about it, it's a Mustang. Ford wants to call it a Mustang, so it's a Mustang. That's why it's got running horses on the grill. Let's move on. The GT has been released. Now the GT, in my opinion, really should have been the first entry model of that car. If it had been this time last year, wow, what a onslaught that would have been for Ford straight away. But no, they released the normal one, the base model, to get orders in. I appreciate that, but they should have done the GT as their main premium car from day one. And we've had to wait a year for it or so, and now it's here. It just makes the first one, the first edition, look like a baby in comparison to a grown-up. The suspension is far better. It rides great, it handles superb. That back end wobble that you can get from the early ones, that's all disappeared. It's got better seat supports here. A lot better. They actually stop you from wobbling in the seat now, and you are pounded in them. That's what you get with the GT. You get larger Brembo brakes. It's also got the Magna Ride system, suspension, but that all comes with the premium GT, don't get me wrong, the performance GT, which is another $5,000 on top of the GT price. But that is the ultimate one to go for. So if anyone out there has got a fair bit of money, yeah, buy me one, GT, performance model. I would suggest that's the one you buy. As I said, it has the Magna Ride suspension, and it needs it with 600 pound-feet torque and 400, I think it's 480 brake horsepower. This thing is faster than the regular stock fossil fuel Mustang GT. That's a crazy amount of speed for what is a very large, heavy SUV with a bit of a slanted roof. That's a lot of power, that's a lot of speed. So the GT is out, and pictures on here, as you can see. Yep, that's the GT. Nice colours. Okay, very quick one on Ionity chargers in Euroland. Mainland Europe, not here in the UK, I don't believe at this stage. Ionity are quite a big charger group. What they're doing is offering, for the first time outside of the USA, they're offering, basically you'll just go up to a charger, back her up or going forward, grab it, put it in, job done. No cards, which is great. No apps to deal with, messing about like you do on Electrify America. Problem is, it won't happen with the earlier EVs, it won't work. It's only on the newer EVs, so anything above 2021 into next year, I think this will be a pretty standard thing. It just takes a lot of doing in the back room there to sort this out with all the manufacturers, so that you just literally drive in, you grab your charge, boom, you bang it in, it's job done. It's job done, you're charging from second one. It's nothing new for Tesla. Hello Tesla owners, yeah, you beat everyone again. Tesla had this since about 2012 on the supercharger network. And then you basically, obviously you get billed at the end of the month or the end of the quarter, whatever you set up. So that's Ionity chargers in Europe. Okay, moving on. I've got something in my hand here that I ordered through a UK seller. I'm lucky to get them. I know that they are about $40, $50 in the US, but this brings me to my next thing. 3 pin badges. I've got the pins on the back. Marvellous thing. Okay, I won't dwell on that because they're very, very hard to get. So if you come across some, buy them, because these are going to be super collectible in a few years' time. Because if Rivian do get sales like is expected, this kind of thing will become very collectible. So if you see them at, I mean, I paid about 12 quid for them, for the 3 in the pack. This brings me to Rivian, obviously that's why I've said it. They are putting up an extra 600 RAN chargers. Rivian Adventure Network, I believe it's called, RAN. These are purely going to be for Rivian owners. So I'm afraid if you don't have a Rivian, you can't use them. And also, they'll be around the 200 kilowatt an hour charge. They are going to be upgrading them by the early 2024s, maybe late 2023, up to 300 kilowatt an hour chargers. They will be a bit expensive, but again, they'll be purely for Rivian owners for maybe the first year, 18 months. Then they might open them up to other people. The good thing is they'll have a total of about 3,500 of 11.5 kilowatt. These will be the ones where you go into a bar for 2 or 3 hours, you pop her on. These will be the ones that you go into a hotel, and they're like destination chargers. But 11.5 kilowatt, they're going to be a lot cheaper, if not free to certain people, I believe, don't quote me on that, but they will be a lot cheaper than the 200 and 300 kilowatt an hour chargers before the start of 2024. So that's great for Rivian owners. I do have a crazy footnote to that story, and that is Amazon, the most powerful people in the world. Hey, one Jeff, you all right? No, I don't want to go in that thing you've got. Don't interest me one iota, mate. No, just send me a Rivian, because I know you've got money in Rivian. This is the point I'm coming to. Footnote to this Rivian story is that obviously everyone out there knows that Amazon has got a lot of big money in Rivian, the same as other investors, but they are the biggest. What's happening is they've had to stop production on the Rivian RT1 pickup truck purely because Jeff says he wants them electric vans. Now what they did a bit of a deal with Rivian, and said, look, you know, we'll do these vans, and they're going to be the Amazon vans, and not sold to anyone else to begin with. Amazon's going to I think they've ordered thousands of the damn things. So now all production is going from the pickup truck over to these vans to get them done in the next 6 months. So people who have put very big heavy deposits, or even maybe virtually paid in full now on the Rivian RT1, are getting a bit peeved. I'll leave it at peeved, because of this. Mr. Bezos, he said, I want me vans. So Rivian have said, yes sir, 3 bags full sir, we'll do that for you sir. And they've stopped production of the pickup truck. Allegedly. Okay, this next one doesn't surprise me, because I'm one of these people I'm going to, not have a moan at, but try to understand them. I can't understand myself sometimes. I charge my car up, I get home, okay, and there's still 40 mile in it, 50 mile in it, like there is now at the moment. It's outside there doing nothing, and I think, shall I put it on charge? Yeah, whatever. Gotta get used to saying no. Charge it at night, it's cheaper. I've got to stop doing it, because 25% of all EV owners are not doing what they should do, and that's charge up at low peak times. When the tariffs are low, charge up then. Normally from about 12:30 till 4. Octopus and OVO Energy and Scottish Power, they all do them here in the UK. I know I'm blowing names out there to my American and European watchers and subscribers. Hello. But here in the UK, there's quite a few people that give you a nighttime tariff, which is cheaper than your normal daytime tariff. And up to a quarter of us have got this, the same as I've got. I can do it at night and get cheaper. I just plug mine in. So what they're saying is you're probably losing around £200 a year by doing that. Now we all know that EVs are far cheaper to run than any fossil fuel car, be it in service costs, running costs, and okay, that initial purchase price can be a bit expensive on the EVs. Buy used. There you go, that answers that. Buy a used one. So if you look at it on a per mile basis, they are cheaper in fuel, of actual money you put in to use them on a day-to-day basis. So to get an extra 200 quid off a year, do it. Charge up at night. Every night, pop it on charge. Don't do it during the day when you don't really need to. And I'm trying to edge myself into that as well. So that's a surprising one there. Okay, finally here on EV News. Let me just put my hat down. And by the way, before I do, this is, of course, you've probably seen it already, the Help for Heroes collection. Got t-shirts and everything else, and this cap is really well made. It's all sewn in and very good. So if you want to do anything good, help the guys there. Get on the website, Help for Heroes. That's my little bit of help for today for the lads and lasses, of course, who have all been injured in military experiences, which gladly me or none of my lads ever have. So look after them. Okay, moving on. Last one of the day to finish this EV news off. That is, of course, I'm done a full circle, because guess what? I'm back to Australians. Now, this is not a crack on the whole population of Australia, but it does come over a bit weird that certain businesses love the fact of making money from lithium and mining, yet the Australian government, who push these businesses into making money to pay the taxes, are not pushing electric cars all that great, or the change away from coal. But you're quite happy to get involved in lithium mining. cobalt, whatever you want to, all the stuff, all the so-called bad stuff that people say about it. And again, this is what brings me around to this one, and this is a massive one. I missed this. This is a story from about 2 or 3 months ago, maybe longer. Germany. In Germany, underneath the River Rhine, okay, which runs along a very vast amount of land in Germany, there is about 186 mile long by around 26 mile wide boiling, bubbling water or fluid containing lithium. Now imagine what this will do or could do for the German economy. It could do a very, very lot of good, especially for the electric car. Lithium, obviously, as you know at the moment, is a needed necessity for battery packs. Now, again, it's only Coke. Now, battery packs are wanted for every EV. You can't run without it. 400 million EVs are the estimate of what could be made and used out under the ground in Germany along the River Rhine. Also at the same time, they're talking about geothermic heat being used to heat homes that will also come from this, because that's the problem. You bring it up, you're going to have a lot of gases and whatever and heat. So with that heat, I mean, I'm no scientist here, folks, don't blame me if I've got it wrong, but with that heat, you're going to get geothermal heat. So you could heat homes, you could use it for industry and business. So that's the green issue pushing this. So this is massive for Germany if it goes ahead. Now, the twist is the company Vulcan Energy Resources is owned by a German consortium, and guess what? An Australian consortium. So they're put together to make this energy company who have put permissions in to go get this lithium. Funny that again, isn't it? How Australia wants a piece of the action for the lithium, but their government doesn't want electric cars and they want to just carry on with coal. I don't get it. I do not get it. Now, there's a twist to this, and the twist being, of course, that it's known, well known, that lithium in batteries might be coming to an end. Although it's a very expensive commodity and it's one of those minerals that is looked upon as like gold, battery technology is advancing at such a speed and such a pace that sodium and other man-made synthetic particles can be used to make electric batteries. Solid state is another way of going forward, and there's a lot of big technical changes happening with battery packs. So are they going to need lithium in a battery pack in say 2 to 5 or 6 years time? I don't believe they will. So this massive find, which might take 2 to 3 years to develop, get planning, get established and get up from the ground, might only be good for about 3 or 4 years, because by then, within a say 7-year period, who's going to want lithium? Am I getting things right there? It'll be lighter, it'll be smaller, it'll be more cost effective, and it will not need the heavy mining that is needed to get lithium out of the ground. And if it does supply enough lithium for 400 million cars, albeit, because for every one that comes on the road, it's one fossil fuel car gone. Are you listening, Australians? Granted, that is KKEV News. Hope you like that. Hope there was something on board that you could take on and think about, or it goes in here, it goes out there. I don't mind. Please subscribe to the channel. Hope you do. Always great to get new subscribers. More comments the better below. So if you've not been here before, now what you need to do is stay on the channel and check out all my other adventures. I've been all over the place in my little i3, and it's all been written down and formatted and put on a little post for you to enjoy. So go enjoy them, because there's plenty to have a bit of a laugh at, or to get some education from. Keep safe, people. Speak to you later.